Wrestling Federation, the worldwide leader in sports entertainment.
Here are your winners and the new World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, and on the Legion of Doom.
This is WWF New York. Hello again, everybody. Jim Ross and Jim Cornette here at ringside. Our congratulations to the new WWF Tag Champions, the Legion of Doom, who will put the gold on the line this Friday night at the Nassau Coliseum against Shawn Michaels and Triple H. Long Island, New York zone, Dude Love, also known as Nick Foley to his mama daddy, helping kick it off here on WWF New York.
I love it! The guy's infectious! He's like moles on a shower curtain! Just when you think you might have him licked, he grows right back!
Dude Love, the Sultan, one-on-one. We got quite the broadcast this week. Stone Cold has been stunning again. We'll show you that. We'll show you how the LOD became tag champions. The Headbangers are here, James Z., but that's not all.
That's right, we're gonna see Marc Mero return! Also, Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg!
That is Billy Gunn, by the way.
Well, I didn't know you could say that on TV or not. An exclusive interview with Bret Hart and my edition of Cornette's commentary from last week's Raw, in case you missed it, concerning New York Post columnist Mr. Phil Mushnick. Been getting a lot of response about that.
And it's a collar and elbow tie-up here. It's Dude Love and the Sultan. The Iron Sheik, the former WWF champion, is at ringside. He is the mentor of the Sultan. And the Sultan knocks down Dude Love here on WWF New York. And yes, Dude Love is so excited to be back in his neighborhood this Friday night.
He grew up in the shadow, if you will, of the Nassau Coliseum.
He certainly did. He's quite the well-known figure on Long Island, Mrs. Foley's baby boy, Mick. And Dude Love, along with Stone Cold Steve Austin, in an unsanctioned tag team matchup, a Long Island street fight this Friday night against Owen Hart and the British Bulldog.
And I would have to be willing to think, wait a minute, he's getting him off balance. He takes the big man down. You got to think that Dude Love is the only guy out of all four of those men that has ever been in an actual, real, down-to-earth Long Island street fight.
It's going to be wild. The WWF wants nothing to do with it. It is not going to be sanctioned. And tickets for that big event, the Long Island's Nassau Coliseum, are still available at all Ticketmaster outlets. And the Nassau Coliseum box office has Dude Love with a little pump handle action on the Sultan, keeping the powerful Sultan at bay. But let's not underestimate the ability of the Sultan, James.
Well, he's big and he's thick and he's powerful, and it's hard to get him off balance because he is just so large. But I got to say, if anybody can do it, Dude Love can. And, you know, in addition to Dude coming home, it's going to be the first time that the New York area folks have seen Stone Cold Steve Austin mix it up with anybody since he was injured at Owen Hart's hands at SummerSlam.
Oh, it's going to be a great live event, and there's just no way to see the WWF but live if you have the opportunity. And Dude Love thrown outside here.
Now, look at the Sheik.
The referee's attention diverted by the Sultan.
Sheik throwing, hey, Sheiky, they got a few dentists in New York City, don't they? Looks like he's been drinking the New York public water supply.
And look at this hard right hands. And Dude Love really taking a pummeling at the hands of this 300-pound plus Sultan.
Well, Dude Love is the most laid back of all of Mick Foley's personalities. Mankind, a little more on the evil side. Cactus Jack, one of the wildest human beings around, but Dude Love takes a while to rile him up. He's so laid back. He's too busy being eye candy for the chicks. But when you do get him going, he will take you out.
And no, I thought it was going to be a big old sunset whoop there by Dude Love, but the Sultan, with that wide base, was able to prevent it.
It's wide, all right. I don't know if you call it a base. How was he going to get that over?
Dude Love trying to pull himself back up.
He couldn't pull that rear end down with a crane, JR.
Well, you got a point. Speaking of big rear ends, have you and Phil Muchnick kissed and made up?
No. I've got something Phil Muchnick could kiss, but I'm going to leave that to my commentary later on for the people who may not have seen it. Mr. Muchnick has some interesting things to say about you, the viewers.
And down goes the Sultan. Dude Love now has the opportunity here to build some momentum. Will Dude take advantage? There's a clothesline, and the Sultan was turned inside out by Long Island's own Dude Love.
The Dudester put his whole body behind that one, and now he's signaling for it. Sweet, gin, music.
And here it comes. And now the double arm DDT. Dude Love with a victory. And listen to the ovation. Here is your irrepressible Dude Love.
It's the summer of love all year round when the Dude's in town, and since he's not here on the mic, JR, let me say it for him. Woo! Have mercy!
Marv Albert couldn't have said it any better. Ladies and gentlemen, Dude Love headed back to the Nassau Coliseum on Friday night. But right here on WWF New York, still to come, we'll look back at Raw and the Rattlesnakes contract signing to meet Owen Hart at the Survivor Series.
Plus, last week, a new partnership formed between Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg, and we'll have them in action.
And when we return, oh, what a rush! The new WWF Tag Team Champions, the Legion of Doom.
It's a battle for the World Championship, but there's more at stake. For two proud legends who share utter contempt for one another, it's personal, and it's gonna get ugly. Bret Hart battles Shawn Michaels for the WWF Championship. The Survivor Series, presented live by Milton Bradley Karate Fighters, November 9th on pay-per-view. Be one of the first 3,000 to order and receive an official WWF dog tag absolutely free.
Tonight, WWF New York is brought to you by the motor oil that provides maximum protection, Castrol GTX. Drive hard.
And by Starburst Fruit Twist. Come on, JR, take a nibble and twist up the juice.
And by Milton Bradley Karate Fighters, a proud sponsor of this year's Survivor Series Super Supper Sweepstakes. It was a tag team sweepstakes this past Monday night on Raw. The Godwins entered the ring as tag team champions, while the LOD had their careers on the line. The LOD had to win or retire. Well, an injury to Animal left Hawk to fend alone against the Godwins. But Animal dug down deep and returned to the battle.
Animal's coming back. Animal, clothesline. Animal clotheslining with his one good arm. Wait a minute. Here we go.
Suplex, but the referee's down.
Drop tag. Animal giving Hawk the signal. Somebody's going to go for a ride.
Look out, Uncle Cletus.
Oh, Cletus just nailing Hawk. Oh, no.
Oh!
An Animal pulled over. And again, the official is still down.
There's no ref. This match should be over. Look at Cletus.
Cletus with that good luck horseshoe.
Horseshoe! Oh, no! Oh, my gosh!
Oh! Cletus with a good luck horseshoe. Just nailed Henry. Henry's out. And now Phineas has Animal up.
He can't get him up.
And
Hawk got him. He caught the clothesline. No,
wait a minute. Wait. Another referee counts the three.
LOD have done it.
Is it really official? Here are your winners and the new World Wrestling Federation Tag Team Champions, Animal and Hawk, the Legion of Doom. Well, this tells out this decision will be contested. The original referee is still on call. Phineas and Henry down in the canyon. And there you have it.
And indeed, the LOD new tag team champions, and they'll defend their tag team gold this Friday night in Uniondale's Nassau Coliseum. Coliseum against Shawn Michaels and Triple H representing D-Generation X, James.
It's like a dream tag team match, and you got to be there to see it.
Great seats are available, ladies and gentlemen, the Nassau Coliseum box office, and of course at all Ticketmaster outlets. But right here on WWF New York, Marc Mero makes his long-awaited debut on WWF New York.
Plus, we'll take a look back at Raw and the antics of the rather childish, immature, and adolescent D-Generation X.
But when we return, Thrasher and Mosh, the Headbangers in tag team action.
It's all about attitude.
What a load of crap.
Some have it.
There ain't no way you can lace my boots.
Most don't.
And that's the bottom line, cause Stone Cold said so.
But anyone can wear it. The Stone Cold Steve Austin Black Denim Vest. 100% rugged cotton. 100% attitude. To order, send a check or money order to the address on your screen. Or call 815-734-1161. The vest costs $44 plus shipping and handling. This vest is not available in stores, so call now.
Ladies and gentlemen, in this corner, we have the world's foremost spectator sport. And in this corner, we have the station that brings it to you. The WWF will be at the Nassau Coliseum on Friday, October 24th. And New York 55 wants our viewers to get in on the action. Watch WWF New York at 11 p.m. this Saturday for your chance to win WWF tickets, hats, t-shirts, and a chance to meet your favorite wrestlers. Watch WWF New York for all the details. And let's get ready to rock and rumble!
Hey everybody, come meet the Headbangers at Auto Expo 98 Friday, October 24th from 5 to 6 p.m. at Nassau Coliseum's Exhibition Hall. Then come see the WWF live.
Welcome back, everybody, and thanks for staying up late with us. Folks, Michael Cole had the opportunity earlier to talk to Thrasher and Mosh about taking a trip from Jersey to Uniondale this Friday night.
We're going to take the parkway down to that $7 bridge, and we're coming to Nassau for one reason and one reason only. The party, and maybe get some more piercings.
So when we get to Nassau, line up, because when we get out of the car, we expect to find a tattoo parlor, and maybe afterwards, well, not maybe, most definitely, we're going to find a club to go party at.
Well, James, do you have any tattoos, any unusual piercings you'd like to share with the WWF New York audience?
I don't believe I'd like to share them with New York or anywhere else. As a matter of fact, Thrasher's still talking like Elmer Fudd after he just got his tongue pierced recently. I don't want to afflict my speech and ability to do my Cornette's commentary for anything.
The Hardy Boys, Jeff and Matt, the brothers from North Carolina, challenging Thrasher and Mosh in this tag team action. Of course, Thrasher was referring to the New Jersey Turnpike and the Verrazano Bridge. The what? $7.
Well, I wouldn't disagree with that. Everything's too expensive in this crummy city, but that's another story.
You know, Mayor Giuliani says he's going to reduce taxes.
He's a politician, and he says he's going to do something. You believe it?
Well, it's election year.
Holy mackerel.
That answer your question?
I'll tell you what I believe. I believe the Headbangers are a better team for having been the WWF Tag Team Champions. They have used more new maneuvers. They've got newfound confidence. They have been really more aggressive than we've ever seen them, but they're in there against a couple of kids that may be now where the Headbangers were a couple of years ago. These Hardy Boys are real comers.
They certainly are. An outstanding combination, as I alluded to earlier. Matt and Jeff are brothers. They're from the state of North Carolina, and certainly no fear as far as putting their own bodies on the line.
Blind tag just in. Blind tag behind Matt Hardy. Look at coming and going from Matt Hardy. Look at the teamwork of the Headbangers.
Boy, this crowd really behind Thrasher and Mosh, who are very, very aggressive here on WWF New York.
These Headbangers have mastered the art of the blind tag. That's making the tag when your opponent doesn't know it's been made.
Nice back body drop. One more look here, James, at this very unique tandem offense.
You can see it again. They made the tag behind Matt Hardy's back. Drop kick, clothesline, and Matt Hardy was hit 3 ways to Tuesday by the combination of the Headbangers.
Certainly reminiscent of your old team, the Midnight Express, coming at you from multiple directions.
I was not going to be the one to make the obligatory Midnight Express reference this week.
Well, it didn't hurt the ring post, but it may have separated the left shoulder of Thrasher. And now we'll see if Matt Hardy, who tags in his brother Jeff, we'll see if the Hardy Boys can solve this mystery and put the Headbangers away. which would be, I would assume, a major upset. Look out.
Whoa! Oh! That used to be Jeff Hardy. He just went splat like a fried egg on the griddle. And the Headbangers once again coming out on top, but you can't underestimate these Hardys. They take a licking and keep on ticking. And ooh, there's Mosh. And he'll just do anything. These guys don't care. I think that's why the people love them. They just don't care.
Well, these Hardy boys are about to make an abrupt exit here, much like the Yankees did for the baseball playoffs. You know the Yankees got eliminated. You know that.
I wasn't aware of that.
And remember what I'm telling you. The Yankees are, sidewalk slam. The Yankees are not managed by the big tuna. There's that lateral press, one. Trying to educate you here to the sports acronym.
I was trying to watch The Simpsons the other day in the middle of a weekday afternoon, and they had a dadgum baseball game on. And right now, whoa!
Oh, boy, super Blackjack.
Super Blackjack. Call him Sputnik Hardy. He was in orbit.
Just supersize it.
You can get a nosebleed up that high. Wonder if he got frequent flyer miles.
Hardy looked like he was leaving LaGuardia there with a bulkhead aisle seat. Look at this. Way up there.
And unfortunately, the oxygen mask did not come down so he could breathe normally. Have we made enough cheesy flight references for one move? These guys are really cooking today.
Watch this offense here. More great teamwork by Thrasher and March. They've never looked better than we're seeing right here. Lateral press. And I'll tell you one thing. Thrasher and Mosh know what it's like to be at the top of the tag team mountain here in the WWF. They will be there again, is my prediction.
And JR, I don't mean to say, I told you so, but I told you so. You just said the Headbangers have never looked better. I said a couple of weeks ago, when they were still the WWF Tag Team Champions, they'd be a better team for holding those belts, even if they lost them, and they are.
That from the Kentucky Colonel, James E. Cornette, who will share his feelings toward New York Post columnist Bill Muchnick in this broadcast.
It's Muchnick, actually, just like the mush that was just made out of Jeff Hardy's face by that reverse double Russian leg sweep.
You know, I don't really care what Bill Muchnick thinks of wrestling. It's his prerogative, but when he lumps all the fans into one kettle of fish, shall we say, and makes insulting remarks about wrestling fans, I think he's gone a little bit too far, and Mr. Cornette will expound on that. Can the Headbangers even make a mistake?
They have been flawless. I give them a 10. We're talking Nadia Comaneci here.
Who?
We're talking Olga Corbett. We're talking Kathy Rigby.
You're dating yourself. Oh, my.
Somebody's got to, and they got it.
How do you like the Headbangers? And how do you like the stage dive? Thrasher goes on their way to the Nassau Coliseum this Friday night. And what a night it's going to be. But ladies and gentlemen, right here on WWF New York, we're going to show you that Stone Cold Steve Austin has made a deal to meet Owen Hart at the Survivor Series.
Plus, the Road Dogg and Billy Gunn step into the ring in tag team competition. Oh!
And when we return, Shawn Michaels and the rest of his crew of D-Generation X get under the skin of the Hitman.
It's the ultimate fall classic. Hulk Hogan battles The Undertaker. Bret the Hitman Hart takes on Big Daddy Cool Diesel for the WWF Championship. Plus, the Macho Man Randy Savage, Ric Flair, Razor Ramon, the Icon Shawn Michaels, Mr. Perfect, the Ultimate Warrior, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and more. It's a night of 100 superstars. The WWF Survivor Series flashback coming in 10 days to USA Network.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being with us. And James E., this past week on Raw, certainly Shawn Michaels made another impact, to say a politically correct term.
Hey, impact may be one term, but you know, this Shawn Michaels and his whole adolescent group, it makes your palms kind of itch. You just backhand the bunch of them, and I think you'll see when we take you back to Raw just exactly what I'm talking about.
Vince McMahon was attempting to get a word with Bret the Hitman Hart, who certainly had a lot to say, but the Hitman was interrupted by Shawn Michaels and Triple H.
Oh, hold on, that's right. You would love to comment on what happened to the Hitman last week. Now, before the Hitman puts a sleeper hold on this crowd and puts them all to sleep, we would love to tell the Hitman that I know you're getting old. I know you're jerking the curtain on my cards. And at Survivor Series, I know we're going to be in your neck of the woods in Canada. Well, I got some footage for you. I don't want everybody to see this because nobody knows Canada like I knows Canada. Hit the footage, Daddy-O.
And, oh, no.
There, look at there.
Look at that way up there. That tickle your brain?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What's it? Yep. There you go.
I'll tell you what. Why don't you two degenerates come down here right now and step in the ring with me right now? Either one of you. I don't care. Either one of you right here, right now.
What? Is he challenging me?
Is challenging us?
Is he challenging us? Right now, regularly, I would take him up on this challenge. But you know what I'm not gonna? You know what I'm not gonna? I'll tell you why. Because the last time I took him up on the challenge was WrestleMania, and I beat his for that stupid piece of tin he's got on his shoulder. And at Survivor Series, I'm gonna take that stupid piece of tin you got on your shoulders once again. I've beaten you, I've beaten your brother, I've beaten both your brother-in-laws, and I'll beat up your whole family if you get in my face one more time.
And as far as I'm concerned, Bret Hart, you want a piece of me, huh? You want a piece of me? Come on! I'll take you on, Hitman. I'll give you the worst beating of your life. Hey, wait a second. I did that last week. I already did that last week, Hitman. So never mind. I don't need to do it twice. I already did it.
I'll tell you what, I've had so many shots to my head, I almost forgot how bad we beat him up last week. Oh, Hitman, I got news for you. Sometime during this show, we are going to cross paths. And you talk about us being degenerates. You know what? I'm tired of Generation X getting a bad rap.
You think you're a degenerate?
You think you're a degenerate?
Well,
I'm positive I'm one.
I guess I'd have to be one.
But, you know, Generation X always gets a bad rap. Everybody calls them degenerates. Degeneration X, is that us? Degeneration X, Triple H, HBK, China, Ravish and Rick. We are Degeneration X. You make your rules, and we will break them. Yeah.
Well, thankfully, the 9th grade gym class shut up for a minute, and Owen Hart got a chance to face Kama of the Nation of Domination. But as the match went on, Degeneration X came to the ring and took over the announced broadcast, verbally berated the Hitman, until finally the WWF champion had enough and began to take matters in his own hands when the Nation of Domination appeared and saved Shawn Michaels.
So what we have here is a major problem between the Hart Foundation and the Nation of Domination, all thanks to the...
Look at him!
Because of Shawn Michaels, quite frankly.
He stirs the pot, and then he just sits back and watches other people fight.
Well, there's going to be some payback for these actions. There's no doubt about it. As you see what happened between the Hart Foundation and the Nation of Domination, let us remind you, ladies and gentlemen, that this Monday night will be live on Raw on the USA Network from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. It will be Bret Hart meeting the leader of the Nation of Domination, Farouk, and that's going to be nasty.
And plus, Shawn Michaels is going to have to fight. It's title versus title. European title versus Owen Hart's Intercontinental title, the Heartbreak Kid, and the real hitman of the Hart Foundation. Owen Hart's the guy that put Shawn in the hospital before, you know.
And listen to the ovation for Marc Mero and Sanga.
Scheduled for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Coming down the aisle, accompanied by Steve-O from Buffalo, New York, weighing 235 pounds, Marc Mero.
Well, who do you think's getting the biggest response between the pair? Is it Sable or is it Marc Mero? Who's the star of this duo?
Well, I guarantee you this, JR, it's not Marty Garner. I know that much, wearing his see-through saran-wrap ring jacket. Marc Mero has a new attitude. He's sitting at home after his knee surgery while he was rehabbing and recuperating that knee, and he has got a new look and a new demeanor. But I would have thought that he might have left his woman home so that he could concentrate on getting down and getting in some people's faces. But I see that he didn't do that.
I'm kind of glad she's here. As a matter of fact, Marty Garner, with that ring attire, looks like he shopped at an Elton John yard sale. Of course, Marty Garner, fresh from the Montel Williams show.
I was told that by Marty about 14 times.
Marc Mero, a native New Yorker, former New York State Golden Gloves boxing champion, has always been tagged as a guy with great potential. But quite frankly, potential will not put biscuits and gravy on the table.
I took potential down to the Piggly Wiggly the other day, and they wouldn't give me nothing. But Marc Mero has the potential if he can translate it into success, into performance. And that new attitude that he's got, the more aggressive demeanor, that may just be the way to do it. But once again, I think you got to leave the little woman at home, just to be honest. She's getting all the attention.
Marc Mero has had a storied career since getting into the wrestling industry. He was, whoa, what a body shot. You can almost hear ribs cracking on that one. He was once considered a bad man and too pretty for his own good. He was a wild man when he first came to the WWF. But now I think it's make or break time for a guy that is obviously a gifted athlete. Wait, there's a counter and a near fall. Boy, I can't believe that. Mero up very aggressively, almost with a look of shock on his face.
You see, the old Marc Mero would have got back up and wondered what happened, but the new Marc Mero gets right back in Marty Garner's face. And look, he's taunting Garner now to get up, peppering him with those jabs. He's floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee, and he's hitting the man so fast, he doesn't have time to fall down.
Mero has the most talented hands in the World Wrestling Federation, no doubt about it, raised in upstate New York. And again, his Golden Glove boxing background is certainly well documented. Check the record books.
Problem is, last time I checked, a closed fist was not legal in a wrestling match, but that doesn't seem to bother the new Marc Mero.
Mero with a new, more focused attitude. And look at those hard shots. Marty Garner can't even fall down. And again, the crowd responding, but are they responding to the athleticism and the intensity of Mero, or to the,
disabled?
Yeah. Ooh. Almost got myself in trouble there.
Don't do that.
Could be sitting next to Marv Albert right here next week, you know, buddy. WFAN wants to hire him. Can't believe that.
Wait a minute. Oh, look at this.
I believe
the
this.
New move. The new move.
TKO. The total knockout. And right here it comes.
That could lead Mero to success.
And Mero, very, very aggressively, very focused. He's never gained eye contact with the fans. He's not dancing.
Whoa.
He's not smiling.
And a couple of boots for good measure.
You ought to like that.
I kind of like that. That's my opinion.
Well, I'm sure it is. And folks, if you want to hear more of Mr. Cornette's opinion about Phil Muchnick, just listen to this.
I'm Jim Cornette, and the views I'm about to express are my own, but as you'll see, they may be yours too. There's a man named Phil Muchnick who writes columns for the New York Post and for TV Guide. You probably never heard of Mr. Muchnick, but you should, because he's had some pretty nasty things to say about you. You see, Phil Muchnick hates pro wrestling, and he's not content just to change the channel. He doesn't want you to be able to watch it either, not the WWF, WCW, ECW, nothing. And for the past several years, Muchnick has led a one-man campaign to have the wrestling industry abolished. Recently, when Ted Turner donated $1 billion to charity, Mr. Muchnick said the world would be better served if he closed up WCW. Phil Muchnick is the man who called for and spearheaded the media and publicity barrage over the federal indictment of Vince McMahon and the WWF on steroid charges. And even though McMahon and the WWF were proven totally innocent in a federal courtroom, Muchnick ignores that fact to this day and writes his columns as if it were a fact they were proven guilty, just so he can continue his one-man crusade. He even wrote a column one time about the Madison Square Garden Network firing Marv Albert, saying that the Garden should cancel wrestling matches too. But Phil Muchnick not only hates wrestling, he hates wrestling fans. Here's a few things he's had to say about you, and I quote, "If not for America's lunatic fringe and the disaffected, WCW would be out of business. If you can tell me that you would bring an important child in your life to a pro wrestling match, I have no gripe with you because you clearly don't know right from wrong. And the overwhelming majority of the wrestling fans who contact me simply prove my point by flooding my mailbox with profanities, obscenities, and other acts that show them to be a disenfranchised subculture." Well, Mr. Muchnick, I'm a wrestling fan, and a lot of the people that read the New York Post and TV Guide are wrestling fans too. And we don't enjoy being insulted by publications we pay money to read. We don't appreciate being told we don't know how to parent our children. We don't want a pompous, self-righteous man with a grudge sitting on top of Mount Olympus, looking down his nose at us and campaigning to take away the constitutional right that every American is guaranteed to freedom of speech, freedom of choice, and the freedom to enjoy whatever entertainment we choose. Those are facts, Mr. Muchnick, not rumors, not suppositions, but facts. You ought to try to deal in them sometime. And I think it's time that the millions of people that you belittle as subhuman every chance you get tell the New York Post and TV Guide what they think of you. But if this has been going on so long, why am I mad right now? Because recently, Phil Muchnick used Brian Pillman's death to call for another outcry against wrestling, and I quote once again, "The problem is the mainstream media don't look hard enough at pro wrestling. Imagine if middle-aged pro baseball players dropped dead on a regular basis. This would be page one stuff, and a federal inquiry would be launched." Well, Brian Pillman was a friend of mine. From the time he was born with throat cancer, he had the courage to undergo 36 different throat operations. He had the courage to withstand the punishment of pro football and 10 years as a pro wrestler. He had the courage to come back from a car wreck that shattered his ankle and from a lot of other personal tragedies. And then one night he went to sleep in a hotel room and he died. And for you, Phil Mushnick, to use his death as an excuse for another call to action in your one-man vendetta against pro wrestling is more vulgar and more obscene than anything that you've ever falsely accused the wrestling industry of being guilty of. So on behalf of the wrestling fans, the wrestling industry, the friends and family of Brian Pillman, and anyone in this country today that denies any one man the right to force his morals and his beliefs on all of us and take away our constitutional rights, on behalf of those people, I say go to hell, Phil Mushnick, and try to reform things down there, because we're doing just fine up here without you. I'm Jim Cornette, and that's my opinion.
Well, folks, if you would like to let the New York Post know your opinion of Mr. Cornette's commentary, then we suggest that you can write to the address on your screen and let the folks there at the good old New York Post know exactly what you think of Mr. Cornette's commentary. Ladies and gentlemen, when we return, we've got some big news coming from the rattlesnake himself. Stone Cold Steve Austin is thundering his way to the Survivor Series.
And now, PlayStation, featuring the innovative sword fighting game Bushido Blade by Squaresoft, presents the PlayStation Slam of the Week.
Oh, again! Kane! What's he going to do with him?
Oh, no. The same thing that Kane did to The Undertaker at Bad Blood.
The Slam of the Week was presented by PlayStation, featuring the innovative sword fighting game Bushido Blade by Squaresoft, only on PlayStation.
Welcome back to WWF New York. The 1997 Survivor Series is proudly presented by Milton Bradley Karate Fighters, and it happens in just 3 weeks from the Molson Center in Montreal.
Well, last Monday, the war zone was snake bit because the rattlesnake, Stone Cold Steve Austin, made his long-awaited appearance. Listen to the ovation.
Ladies and gentlemen, Stone Cold Steve Austin!
And JR, you know what he was there for? It was put up or shut up time. Was the deal going to be struck? Was a contract going to be signed?
Well, Austin was here to conduct business. Austin had one thing on his mind, and that was Owen Hart. So Austin signed the contract. It was a done deal. And then Vince McMahon asked this question.
Before you go, just clear up one small detail, if you don't mind. Last week you said it was none of my business, and maybe it wasn't. All right? But what were you doing at Bad Blood when you interfered to that match with Owen Hart and with Farouk? What were you doing?
See, what happened was Farouk was in the wrong place at the wrong time. I got no problem against him. I got no problem with the Nation of Domination. The bottom line is Steve Austin gets what Steve Austin wants, and I want Owen Hart. I want the Intercontinental title, and I want it real fast. It's my business, and Stone Cold does what he wants when he wants.
Well, Stone Cold's comments brought out the Nation of Domination, who have taken exception to Austin's actions and interference in the nation's business. They sent Rocky Maivia to the ring, but Maivia comes from guard. Boom! Stone Cold stunner, and down he goes. And Steve Austin, using the stun and run offense, takes off for higher ground, leaving the Nation of Domination wondering just exactly what happened. Stone Cold Steve Austin has struck again, and there's no telling where he'll strike next.
It could be, ladies and gentlemen, at the Survivor Series, where it will be Owen Hart and Austin going one-on-one. The Survivor Series on Sunday, November the 9th from the Molson Center in Montreal. Or it could be this Friday night.
An unsanctioned Long Island street fight. Owen Hart and the British Bulldog against Steve Austin and Dude Love.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, here. Well, wait a minute. Let's hear what he's got to say.
At least he's asking him to turn the music off.
They want to hear the road doggy dog. That's right, we're back and we're proud, and we're going to say it out loud, because right standing to my left immediate right, the Road Doggy Dog, Jesse James. Now, Topeka, are you with me? I said, Topeka, listen here. Everybody out there in TV land saw what we did to the rhinoceros of the World Wrestling Federation, the Honky Tonk Man. And that was merely step one for myself, the dog, and bad Billy Gunn. This right here just seems to be step two.
Well, this right here, waiting bad are the new Blackjacks, but let's show you what the Road Dogg was talking about.
Well, last week, Road Dogg had made the offer to Billy Gunn, and Billy seemingly turned it down, but what he did was he turned on the Honky Tonk Man and cracked him over the head with his guitar.
So apparently, the Road Dogg and bad Billy Gunn are forming some sort of alliance here. This is the first time that I can recall seeing these two men in tag team action, and certainly the first time they've been together since their new attitude, shall we say.
Well, and I'm not going to go off on a rant here or another Cornette's commentary, although, by the way, about Cornette's commentary, folks, keep those cards and letters coming, as the old saying goes. But Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg have had tons of potential. They've always had the ability, but Rockabilly was sidetracked by the Honky Tonk Man, and I think that the Road Dogg, if he wants to sing, let him do it in the shower. The point is, they are going to be a great tag team combination if they live up to the natural ability they've got, and that's my opinion.
Bradshaw coming back in and being met by those kicks to the ribs. There's a reversal of the Irish whip. Bradshaw lowered his head, but Bradshaw knocking down the Road Dogg. Bradshaw, the big foot right to the face of Billy Gunn. And I can almost promise you that we're going to be hearing all these sour grapes, sad sack stories from Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg about how the man has held him back and how we had to do things we didn't want to do. The bottom line is that when you get in the ring, you compete. You either win or you don't win. And quite frankly, neither one of those guys, Billy Gunn or the Road Dogg, have been doing a lot of winning in the last several months.
Well, JR, I beg to differ with you just a second, because you can't go out there and win a wrestling match or win a fight when you're wearing a clown suit. Billy Gunn thought that Honky Tonk Man, being a star, was going to take him to the top, but Honky Tonk, all he did was use Billy Gunn to become Rockabilly to play out his personal fantasies about being a country music and rock and roll star. Billy Gunn is a man, and Billy Gunn could not feel comfortable going out there dressed like that. That's my opinion.
I've heard plenty of opinions. Nice arm drags by Barry Windham. Blackjack Windham now, the veteran, the son of Blackjack Mulligan with a right hand. And the big Texan found his mark with that ham-like right.
Whether it's Bradshaw's feet or Wyndham's fists, so far Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg have not gotten their tag team strategy together. Now, they haven't been a team very long. They have the ability and the potential, but they've got to mesh those styles.
Well, they got to win. Bottom line is you cure a lot of ills when you win. And another right hand. Windham just outsmarted Billy Gunn here. Well, I'll tell you what, must win. That's kind of the Jets and the Patriots tomorrow. Big NFL game.
Wait a minute, Blackjack's setting up some kind of tag team offense. Ooh.
The Blackjacks in control. Folks, we'll be right back.
Now on the WWF Superstar line, good old JR has big news on the expansion of the Hart Foundation. Call option 3 of the Ross Report and find out all about it. Just call 1-900-737-4WWF. The call costs $1.49 per minute. Kids under 18 must have parents' permission before calling. Call the Superstar line now. Call 1-888-550-2608 right now for your chance to win with WLNY TV, New York 55, and the WWF.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to WWF New York. It's the new Blackjacks taking on Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg. And the Blackjacks are owning this new team thus far. Big leg drop, Bradshaw. Oh, what a star he's going to be. There's a lateral press. Jack Doan down and got a 2 count.
Well, the Blackjacks are doing exactly what Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg should be doing, and that's putting together tag team offense. 2 against 1, cutting the man off from his partner and keeping him down. And the Road Dogg has not been tagged in quite some time.
But thus far, Billy Gunn and the Road Dogg's offense have been kind of like the New York Rangers, invisible. Not happening.
Look at Bradshaw. He is just a hoss. For all you New Yorkers up here, that's a horse. That's a big man.
That's tough. 308 pounds. Young man in his early 20s is going to be a big, big star here in the WWF. Shades of the great Stan Hansen's days in Madison Square Garden.
Is he going for a pile driver or a power bomb? No, he's going up for a backdrop.
Nice.
Billy Gunn.
Good move. Very good move. And a much-needed counter, but look at how quickly the Blackjacks make the exchange. Blackjack Windham back in. And here comes the Road Dogg.
And there goes the Road Dogg. That didn't work out at all. Billy Gunn should have made the tag to the Road Dogg at the same time as Bradshaw made it to Windham, but they did not.
Oh, man, you can hear the impact of that clothesline. And, well, we made another mistake. I'll tell you what, the Road Dogg's pretty good talking, but he hadn't got the job done yet in the ring.
I'm going to tell you again, Road Dogg has not been comfortable. He was trying to be a country singer. He was trying to have a music career, and that just doesn't mesh with professional athletics. And I think now that he has realized he needs to focus on one or the other, and he has chosen, I think the Road Dogg is going to be a force to be reckoned with.
Thus far, his biggest claim to fame was managing Jeff Jarrett to the Intercontinental title, and there's a DDT. A great move, a timely move by Billy Gunn.
And Billy Gunn now has got to follow up on this. This is the first offense he's had in a while, and he's got to stay on top of the Blackjacks. More specifically, Bradshaw in the ring now.
Reversal of the whip, and Bradshaw, that big old area.
No!
Boom! Oh, what impact!
Oh, my God!
What impact that was! Lateral press, and finally, the Road Dogg able to interrupt the count. Here comes Barry Windham. And the Blackjacks, as they say down in Texas, are walking tall.
There's a reversal on one side and into a lariat. Billy Gunn down. The Road Dogg down.
Windham in firm control here, about to put the Billy Gunn away. And wait a minute! Wait a minute! Road Dogg, he pulled the foot out from under Windham, and I think he's holding it.
He held the foot, and they've got it. They've done it.
Billy Gunn and Road Dogg Jesse James.
Do you believe it? They won.
That's #1 on our streak. And if you think that was red hot, just wait on Monday night.
Well, Monday night, we're going to be live in Oklahoma City, Oklahoma for Raw is War on the USA Network.
Well, what did he mean? What are they going to do Monday night?
I don't know. That's an interesting question.
What's this? Windham goes for the vertical suplex, and Road Dogg pulled the leg. Billy Gunn's weight came down on top, and Road Dogg held the leg so that Windham could not kick out. Road Dogg and Billy Gunn have won this match.
Ladies and gentlemen, when we return, our colleague Michael Cole will have a very special interview with the WWF champion, Bret the Hitman Hart. That is next.
Mission complete, Chief.
Not true.
But why, Chief?
Because I'm really not the chief.
Classy Freddy Blasty?
No, Toots, read the script. I'm the evil Dr. Madman, and you have one more challenge to pass.
Super Strike. You're all out.
Foiled again. Unfreeze that pencil-neck geek.
What happened?
Les écrivains ne pouvaient pas arriver avec une feuille qui était drôle, alors ils ont décidé de couper sa cour.
All right, boys. Deal those cards before I wrap you with my game.
Laser tag. Fight Tiger. Sable button.
Welcome back, folks, and thanks for being with us here on WWF New York. A reminder, this Friday night, one of the biggest live events ever in the Nassau Coliseum. Bret the Hitman Hart will defend the WWF title against the Phenom, The Undertaker, and Michael Cole caught up with the WWF champion.
The WWF champion, Bret Hitman Hart, heading back to the New York City area, this time Nassau Coliseum on Long Island.
You know, the last time I came to New York, I was really surprised all the American wrestling fans came out to jeer against me. Madison Square Garden used to be the home that I built. But Nassau Coliseum, I expect things will be a little different. You know why? Because I got roots there. My mother's from Nassau Coliseum, Long Island. But I don't think it's going to make any difference, because either way, I'm walking out with a World Wrestling Federation Championship belt, whether they like it or not.
Bret, it's not going to be all fun and games. You have to meet The Undertaker.
Well, me and The Undertaker, we've done battle lots of times before. And I couldn't think of a better place to do it in Nassau Coliseum. Undertaker, you can hope and pray that you'll win the World Wrestling Federation Championship belt, but you won't. Because I won't disgrace myself, and I won't disgrace the rest of my fans all around the world, and I will not lose to an American, and especially, I will not lose in an American city. So Nassau Coliseum, you can come on and cheer on The Undertaker if you want to, but it's not going to save him, and it's not going to help him.
It's the long-awaited rematch from SummerSlam. It's this Friday night in the Nassau Coliseum. The Phenom steps in the ring against Bret the Hitman Hart for the WWF title. But James E., that's not the only title that's going to be decided Friday night.
The WWF Tag Team Championship on the line. The Legion of Doom, the Road Warriors, defending against Degeneration X. Shawn Michaels and Triple H, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. What a rush.
And folks, you don't want to miss this. It's not sanctioned by the WWF. It is a Long Island street fight. Stone Cold Steve Austin and Dude Love, Long Island's own, will join forces in this non-sanctioned matchup to meet Owen Hart and the British Bulldog.